What's going on, Ottawa Senators fans, and welcome back to your Legend GM mode. Now, in the last episode, we kind of kissed the playoffs goodbye. We're not simulating well, and a lot of people think that is because of Pascal Leclerc. Now, it could be, it really could be. We'll have a look at his stats here and the fact that he is blind. This guy says, give the blind goalie eye surgery, change his vision. Now, you can't change stats within the GM mode itself. If I was to do that, I'd have to start the whole thing over and go back into create a player and switch it up. So I'm not going to do that. We're kind of stuck with where we are right now. Where is he? Sorry, we'll go over to goalies here. He does have 66 vision, and he is listed as a backup goalie. So if he grows, great. If not, we may have to look at trading him, which I don't really want to do because he is a legend, and we did draft him fairly high. So I wouldn't mind hanging on to Leclerc, but he does have quite a bit of trade value. So we'll throw him up on the block, and maybe we'll see if anyone wants to come at us with any offers. Speaking of the trading block, I have a trade that is going to work. I think so anyways. It's from Rick Diaz. Now don't worry about these lines here. They're just the best lines. I was messing around with some stuff, but we'll have to figure this out in a minute. But it's from Rick Diaz once again. He says, how about this? Riley Smith plus Mike Camilleri to Calgary in exchange for Braden Point and Marian Hossa. Hossa has a terrible contract, but he'll retire soon, so it's fine if you get him. You also get Point, who could grow. He is only 82, medium top 9. There is a chance he could grow, but you know, if he does, great. If he doesn't, it's all good. We get rid of 2 terrible contracts. He also says pretty much that you could go ahead and throw some picks in there or retain some salary, but in the end, it's my call. Now, I'm going to see if this will go through. I believe Marian Hossa would be an upgrade from Riley Smith and Mike Camilleri, and I kind of want to see what kind of a year he's having here. He is obviously playing maybe on a line with Olli Jokinen. Oh my god, get that guy out of here. But Marian Hossa, yeah, you see 88 overall. He's probably playing in their top 6, but they are going to get Riley Smith and Mike Camilleri. But we got 12 goals, 21 helpers, a +9 for the 88 overall 38-year-old. So you could see him retire at the end of this year, which would be awesome for us. His contract isn't bad for what he is, but I really wouldn't mind making this trade go through. So let's see if we can actually do it here. Marian Hossa would be an upgrade for sure. He's that second line winger that I actually wanted. Plus, if he retires next year, that brings up room for maybe one guy in our AHL, maybe Riley Barber, or maybe Sven Berchi, or we look towards the draft or free agency to fill that void. But where is Braden Point? So he's 82 overall, only 20 years old, so that's pretty nice. Medium top 9. He looks pretty decent. He is a project, that's for sure, but he's still on his entry-level deal, so I will definitely take that. Now let's see if we can make this deal go through. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to throw a pick their way, but Mike Camilleri, who is, honestly, he isn't bad. It's not the end of the world if we can't make this trade go through with Mike Camilleri, because he is pretty decent. He is 34 years old. He's on a contract for the next 3 years at $5 million, so we owe $15 million to Mike Camilleri. And Riley Smith, we all know that whole situation right now. I'm not even going to go into it. 25 years old, $5 million for the next 6 years. That is just too much for me. So let's go ahead and retain some cap. I'm going to see if I can retain $1 million on Riley Smith. So we're paying him $6 million for the next 6 years, or I guess over the course of the next 6 years. And then Mike Camilleri, I'm going to go ahead and throw $1 million as well. So we're going to take back $2 million for this year, for next year, and the year after that until Mike Camilleri's contract is up. And then we got 3 more years of $1 million towards Riley Smith. So you can see the trade value is already relatively even, but I don't think this will go through. We could try it. I don't think it will though. Wow, it actually will go through. Okay, hold on here. Hold on. So that's going to go through straight up as is. $1 million each for Braden Point and Marian Hossa. So Hossa gets off the books. They get a player who's going to play for longer than Marian Hossa, and they get a player who's still pretty young, and he is 85 overall. We just don't really have a place to put him, and I want to get that bad contract out of here ASAP. So I'm actually surprised that this will go through straight up. I thought I was going to have to throw a pick their way, but let's go ahead and make this trade go through. Marian Hossa and Braden Point, welcome to Ottawa. We bring back Marian Hossa to Ottawa, so that's kind of funny. He ripped it up early on in his career with Ottawa, so that is a huge weight off of our shoulders. That is a lot of contract that is now gone, so that's nice to see for sure. Now, one thing I wouldn't mind doing is upgrading our bottom pairing defenseman, maybe get like an 83 overall guy. because right now Joe Morrow is what? He's a minus like 17 or something. Yeah, I remember looking at that. Minus 17. He's got 2 points. I wouldn't mind throwing him down in the AHL because our AHL team is doing great. So Joe Morrow would definitely help out in that department. And Connor Murphy, I mean, he's got a bad contract as well. He's only got 1 assist so far. Oh my God. For $3.8 million for the next 6 years. That's not good. Plus, he's a minus 25. Oh my God. Now, I don't want to give up on these players right now. Wouldn't mind getting like an 83, 84 overall defenseman out there. If I remember right, Fedor Tutin is available in the free agency. So if we could get an 83 overall guy, it would help out for sure. Plus, it would let us send Joe Morrow down. So yeah, he is available. He wants a 1-year deal at 1.6. I'm fine with that. That's not a worry at all. And his defensive awareness, his whole defensive category is great. He's just a steady defensive defenseman. So I think getting Tutin will help out our bottom core. I'll give you 1.6 for 1 year. That's totally fine. And maybe, I mean, you could look at maybe scratching Connor Murphy for the rest of the year, or we could potentially trade him right now, and we could get Kyle Quincy, who is kind of in the same boat, has good defensive category, his skating's decent, or we could go after a guy like Mahalik or Ian Cole, this Chariot guy. I mean, there's a lot of options out there. So let's see here. Let's see what we can do. I want to wait to see if he signs. I'll worry about the lines in a minute. Do we have a game here, or can I sim to the next game? Okay, we could definitely sim to the next game. Let's see if he signs within that time, and if not, I'm gonna have to just play 1 game without everyone. John Tavares became the captain. What are you talking about? He was already the captain. What is this simulation doing? Okay, so Tutin is here. That's nice to see. 94, 91, 91. I mean, our team looks sick. We're 19, 24, and 4. I mean, you might not be able to kiss the playoff hopes goodbye right now, but there's a pretty slim chance that's actually going to happen. So I think we're going to go Hossa, Draisaitl, Nash, Heatley, Tavares, Nikolai Zherdev, Braden Point, Brendan Sutter, Sven Berchi, Maroon, Cullen, and Shane Doan. So I like our 4th line a lot. Would it make sense to throw Point on the 4th line and then bring Patrick Maroon up? He is having a pretty good year. I'm going to have to go to the defense here. Now, Joe Morrow, we're going to go ahead and send Joe Morrow down. I believe he's still on a 2-way contract. And as for Connor Murphy, I don't know what we're going to do with him. Bushnevich has to go down, or Bushnevich, however you want to pronounce his name. Some people were, oh, so he is going to be on waivers if I send Joe Morrow down. Oh, what about Connor Murphy? Connor Murphy's the exact same deal. Should we risk sending Connor Murphy on waivers? He is, what, 23, 24? Yeah, he's 23 years old, defensive defenseman. He's a low top 4. Well, what if he does grow? You know, what if he does grow? Tutin, we're going to go ahead and call up, and we have Larson and Barber ready for next year. Johan Larson is probably ready right now, but I don't want to mess with our AHL team quite yet, and I don't want to risk putting these guys on waivers. That sucks. Definitely on that 1-way deal. Do we just scratch him for the rest of the year? Is that greasy, or do we risk putting him on waivers? And, oh boy, what do we do here? Okay, you know what? I might scratch him till around the trade deadline, and then we can figure out what we're gonna do here. So I have to actually sign a player, it looks like, because we are under the salary cap. So I have to go ahead and sign a player. Maybe for our AHL team, I'll give him like a $2 million contract, and then we can send all these players down, and we can figure out what we're gonna do. Because we have like, sorry, we have $18 million in cap. 18, that's right. Let's send Marian Gaborik. Maybe we'll give him a contract. Maybe just throw him down in the AHL, help out the AHL team if he will sign a 2-way deal. I don't think he will. No, he probably won't. Let's go ahead and sign someone who is eligible to play in the AHL. I want a guy who wants a 2-way deal, obviously. So if I could sign a young guy and sign him for 1 year, let's give him for $4 million bucks. All right, there you go. JT Brown, 26 years old. Go buy yourself a nice car. There you go, buddy. There's some other players out there, 26 years old. They're just pretty much a lot of JT Browns. So we'll wait until JT Brown has signed. Let's see if Marian Hossa and Braden Point make an impact in their first game, and then once JT Brown signs with that big old contract, we're gonna have to figure out all of our lines here. So first period up against Florida, 3-1. There you go. Heatley, Brendan Sutter, and Nikolai Zherdev. Pretty good first period. Let's go into the second, 6-1. Brandon Sutter gets a second of the game, Jared gets another, and Rick Nash makes it 6-1 there. Let's go into the third, and no more goal scoring, but that was a pretty dominant game. I wonder if Hossa or Braden Point actually did anything there, but Heatley with another 3-point performance. This guy is unbelievable. Hopefully JT Brown signs right now. I mean, I don't know why he would take any time. There you go, JT Brown is available now, and we got a big game here up against Tampa Bay, who are 31-19-1. They're a hell of a team. So let's go ahead here and do the lines, and I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so Joe Morrow is now scratched, 81 overall. I'm sorry, buddy, I'm sorry. You'll maybe get time to play next year, but as of right now, this is just kind of what we have to do right now. So Point, Sutter, Berchi, Hossa, Draisaitl, Nash, you guys know the rest. Nothing else has really changed. And defensively, we got Tootin in there, who dropped from an 83 to a 79. So I'm hoping that he gets back up to that 80-ish overall. I guess I had him scratched for one game, and he didn't really like that. 6'2", 221, 33 years old. His stats are looking bad right now, but hopefully he jumps up to that 83 overall that he once was. So I think we're pretty much ready to go here. I am going to go ahead and throw a few players on the trading block. So I believe the trade deadline is pretty close. It's probably a couple weeks away. So it's pretty much exactly in a month, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and throw a few players on the trade block for 1 month, and one of those players is going to be Pascal Leclerc. So I'm going to go ahead and edit up the trade block, and we'll see if anyone sends us an offer. If they send us an offer that I really can't refuse, I may have to look at it for Pascal Leclerc, but he is a legend, and I don't really want to trade legends because we drafted him really high, and I want him to grow. Hopefully he gets some special glasses or something because he is blind as it gets. 5 years left at an entry-level deal. I mean, it's pretty much a steal for anyone. Hopefully he does grow, though. Let's go ahead and throw Rick Nash on there as well. Still a pretty serviceable guy. And who else? Taylor Radish, Zach Bogosian. We'll go ahead and throw him on there. So let me go ahead and edit this up really quickly, and I'll see you in a second. Alright, so everything is pretty much ready to go. We are probably going to get a lot of trade offers, but it is only for 1 month, and I kind of want to see what's out there. I wouldn't mind getting a few more picks, especially in year one where I know the draft is relatively deep. You can get some steals in like the 3rd and the 4th round. So we'll go all the way up here to the trade deadline, maybe go past it, and we'll see what comes at us. So I mean, obviously I'm not trading players like Heatley, so I'm going to go ahead and have to decline all those offers. We're probably going to get a lot of them, but a big win there against Tampa Bay. So we are not trading Leon Draisaitl. Since acquiring Marian Hossa and Braden Point, we are 2-1 now since we lost that game against Buffalo. But we are a streaky team. You could go ahead and see us lose 3 or 4 in a row like we're doing right now. A first, Oliver Killington, and a 3rd round pick for Ryan Murray. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see here. Ryan Murray is 2 years left at 2.8, which is a great contract. He's good. He will grow. He is that low elite. But we can get a first, Oliver Killington, who is a offensive defenseman, high top HL2. Yeah, he's probably not going to be anything. So pretty much a first and a 3rd for Ryan Murray. I'm going to decline that for right now. It's a nice offer, but Ryan Murray is probably going to be a big piece of this team. Ryan Murray has already grown quite a bit, so I think that trading him probably isn't the smartest thing. The picks are nice, but I don't think it's really worth it right now. So you see we won 2 in a row, and then we just lost 3 straight. So the team is really frustrating like that. Let's go to the SHL for a bit. Let's go scout the forwards over in Sweden. Provorov for a first and a second. So people are throwing firsts at us like no tomorrow. 2018, okay, so it's a 2018 first, but it's kind of the same thing. Provorov is going to be a big part of this team, so that's going to be a big no for me, unfortunately. Give me a first for Zach Bogosian. That's what I want. I don't want to get rid of any of these guys. 2/3 and Noah Juleson for Draisaitl. Are you guys high? So we've lost 5 in a row. That's fantastic. The playoffs are all but over for us. Now, does it make sense for us to trade a player like Rick Nash, maybe for a first? No, definitely not doing that. Looks like everyone just wants our legends. There you go. Finally snapped the losing streak there. Leon Draisaitl and Zach Bogosian for 2 firsts. Oh man, I want to get rid of Zach Bogosian, but I'm not willing to part ways with Leon Draisaitl. So, no thank you, no thank you. 22, 28, and 5. Not a very good record. New Jersey wants to give us a first and green for Provorov. No, 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 not good enough. Our AHL team is unbelievable though. 34, 15, and 4. That's not bad at all because obviously they're stacked. They have Johan Larsson. They have a bunch of really good players. So that's a pretty good record there for the Senators and the AHL. I'm not giving up Leon Draisaitl. I would like to get rid of Zach Bogosian. Leon Draisaitl for a first. No, thank you. I'll see what I can do here. I'll maybe look at a few more trades right before the trade deadline. Maybe on the Tuesday, I'll go ahead and two firsts. No, I'm not going to do that. Maybe on the Tuesday here on the 28th, I will go ahead and scout some trading blocks. But the playoffs are pretty much over at this point. Let's go ahead and see if we can beat Tampa Bay one more time. We beat them earlier in the month. Let's go, first period. All right, 2-1. Danny Heatley scores. He seems to score every single simulation game for us. He's a machine. Second period. All right, we tie it up. Brandon Sutter gets a big one, and unfortunately, we lose. Jamie Benn scores with 4 minutes left to give them the edge, but Heatley gets another one. Another 2-goal performance from the man himself, Danny Heatley. What a beast. He's honestly so good. A lot of you guys were saying he should be the captain. He's the face of the franchise, and maybe you're right. Maybe you guys are right, but as of right now, a first, a second, and Leslie for Draisaitl, no, not happening. As of right now, John Tavares has the C on his sweater. Heatley's still young. He's only, what, 20 years old? So I don't want to go ahead and give him the captaincy right away. Maybe in a few years if he really starts to turn it up here. But let's go ahead and see if we can move a player like Zach Bogosian or maybe even Rick Nash. I mean, I know I said I wanted to keep Rick Nash in the last video. You know, he does have 22 goals. I guess playing with Marian Hossa has definitely helped him out. How's Marian Hossa doing, by the way? Let's go ahead and see where he's at. So still 88 overall. Hasn't started declining yet. He hasn't scored yet, actually. Wow. He had 12 goals before. I think he had 22 assists last time as well. So he's only got 2 points in like the 10 games that we played with him. Wow, okay, that's a little bit surprising. All right, well, I wasn't really expecting that. Has Connor Murphy done anything? He got one more assist, minus 28. That's hashtag not good. How's Tootin doing? So he's back up to 83, hasn't got a point yet. Wow, okay, maybe Connor Murphy's cursed. 13 games, no points, 8 penalty minutes. Wow. All right, how's Braden Point doing? 6 goals, 22 helpers. Not quite sure where he was at last time when we traded for him, but it's not terrible, I guess. Upwards of 30 points, so that's not that bad. I'm not going to look at stats too much here. I want to have a look to see if we could trade Connor Murphy. He's 23 years old, 81 overall, got a big contract. Let's see if we could just get, like, literally anything for this guy. If I could get, like, a third, maybe a second. Let's just go ahead and part ways with him, I think. Is it too soon to part ways with Connor Murphy? He does have that low top 4. It's a big contract, though, 3.8 for the next 6 years. If he turns out great, I don't know if he is, because he does have that low top 4, and I haven't had that good of luck with that. The low is a bit sketchy. The low elites are usually good, but low top 4, I don't know. Maybe we'll give Joe Morrow the shot over Connor Murphy. He's just having a terrible year, 81 overall, and I don't want to hold on to him at the draft. Maybe he drops to an 80 or a 79, and then we're really screwed. So let's go ahead and maybe just part ways right now. If I could get a second round pick for Connor Murphy, that would be a win in my books, especially for this year. So Carolina's second for Connor Murphy. I don't want to take any cap on. I don't think this will go through. Trade rejected, yeah. What if I take, I don't know, 500K? Will that entice you a little bit more? Let's see here. 500K, give me a second. Trade rejected, no. All right, what if I threw in a fourth as well? Will that go through? Throw in a fourth, trade accepted. All right, so we get our second round pick, and now we could give Joe Morrow the shot to play in the NHL. All right, that's fine. All right, we go with Joe Morrow. He does have the exact same thing with the low top 4, but he doesn't have that terrible contract. We'll only make it $800,000, so I will go ahead and put him in the lineup, and then you know what? We're at around 25 minutes here. Maybe we'll get the rest of the year done. Maybe. We'll see. Now, I was thinking of moving Rick Nash, but if I was to do this, if I was to move Rick Nash, we'd have to send a lot of players down to the AHL, and that would probably include Danny Heatley because they're all making $500,000, so they're going to send the lowest guys down to the AHL. I just tried to make a trade go through with Rick Nash, and it turned out that we'd have to send a bunch of players down, which was Rick Nash, Nikolai Zherdev, and Fetisov. Now, we wouldn't be able to call them back up because we would be way under the cap, so I'm going to hang on to Rick Nash. He's having a decent year. Maybe we'll trade him at the draft, but as of right now, Rick Nash is staying on our team. I wanted to move him for a first. We definitely could have got a first-round pick, but with our current cap situation, it didn't really make a whole lot of sense. So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the simulation done. We're going to go all the way through here. This is going to be a long video. That's going to be the end of our trades. Yeah, that's it. Nothing else happened during the trade deadline. One thing I do want to do is have a look to see if anyone did get moved. Maybe a legend got traded, who knows. Nothing else changed. We made our 2 trades. We got rid of Connor Murphy. Now, I don't know if that was a super smart deal because he could potentially grow, but with 3.8 and with the chance he's not going to grow, I don't want to take that risk. So I guess that was the only move happened during the trade deadline. I wish there was more moves that happened. I wish computers made more trades. Hopefully they fixed that for NHL 18. But we got exactly 20 games left in the regular season. Let's see if we can tank here. We made our moves for Marian Hossa, and we haven't been playing great. We lost 4 or 5 in a row there. We won 1 game. Now we're probably going to lose the next 4 because we are the streakiest team in the entire world. Okay, we actually won 2. 26, 34, and 6. I wouldn't mind completely tanking here. I wouldn't mind losing 10 or 15 games in a row, honestly, to get that top pick. Maybe getting a Nolan Patrick wouldn't be that bad. But do we really need a Nolan Patrick? That's the thing. So now we're in the holy crap. I was gonna say we're in the conversation of getting a top 10 pick, but we just won 4 straight. We absolutely destroy the Montreal Canadiens 7-5 and then 7-3. What the hell is all this goal scoring coming from? And then 8-2. Oh my God, Montreal, you guys just got destroyed by one of the worst teams in the league. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. We scored 22 goals in oh my God, scored 22 goals in 3 games against the Montreal Canadiens. We're actually winning a decent amount of games right now. I was just talking about how we're probably going to have a top 10 pick, but maybe it's going to be in like the 10 to 12 range. We'll see where we end up though. Why are we winning games right now? Where was this earlier on in the year? Where was this 22 goals in 3 games? Holy crap, that's ridiculous. Let's see here, another 7-goal performance. You know what? Danny Heatley probably had over 100 points. I would put money on it that Heatley and Tavares both are around the 90 to 100 point range. Let's get the last game of year 1 done here against the New York Islanders. First period, 2-0. Chris Pronger gets 2 goals, 2 slap shots from opposite sides of the ice. All right, period number 2. All right, we come right back. Leon Draisaitl and Hossa. Dustin Brown gets 1, making it 3-2. And the third period, we lose our last game. All right, so unfortunately we didn't go out with a bang there, giving our fans something to look forward to during the next year. But look at these games against Montreal. That is insane. I guess Montreal doesn't have a very good record at all. They're 31-44, but we beat up on those guys. Holy crap. Okay, so where did we finish? Let's have a look at everything. Obviously you missed out on the postseason. Let's have a look at everybody's stats. We'll do a little year-end wrap-up, but there you go. John Tavares, 106 points. That's what I'm talking about. Did Heatley hit 100? He had 102. He almost hit 50 goals as well. 102 points for Danny Heatley. They both finished plus 10. Everyone on this line finished plus 10. That's awesome. There you go. All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's perfect. That is the dream first line. Nikolai Zherdev had a modest 87 points in 82 games. Leon Draisaitl with 57 points. Rick Nash had 31 goals, so that's nice to see. He's 32 years old, but he can still put the puck in the back of the net. Hossa had 48. Brandon Sutter had 46. Point had 43, so that's definitely nice to see. Probably send Braden Point down. He's on a 2-way deal, right? Yeah, he is on a 2-way deal, so we'll send him down to the AHL because he's going to help them during their postseason run. And Berchi had 15 goals, pretty much the exact same year he had with the Canucks this year. Ryan Murray up to an 89 overall, had 33 points. Patrick Maroon 28, Cullen 26. Fetisov had not a very good year at
at all. 14 goals, 8 helpers. Shane Doan, Provorov is up to an 84 now, so he's growing slowly. Tootin had 4 points. Joe Morrow had 4 as well. Jonathan Bernier went 9 and 10, and Pascal Leclerc is down to an 86, so he is slowly declining, which is kind of scary. 25 and 29. His vision still at 66. Oh man, oh boy, that's not a very good sign. Had 1 shutout this year. It's definitely not ideal having him dropping to 86. One thing I wanted to point out though was Braden Point. He actually played 87 games. Exact same thing with Marian Hossa, so they had a long season since we did acquire them from Calgary, and I guess Calgary played more games than us. But let's have a look at everyone in the NHL. How did everyone produce? Where did Heatley and Tavares place in the scoring? Holy shit, Corey Perry, 119 points. Wow. Okay, that is very impressive. Esposito right behind him, so they look like they had just the most insane pairing there. I believe Fedorov is on their team as well, yeah. Oh my god, everyone is over 110 points. Wow. Sidney Crosby up to a 97. He had 74 helpers for 115 points. Gretzky had 64 goals. Holy shit, for 108 points. John Tavares right there with 106. And Heatley was right behind him, so they both finished in the top 10 for scoring. That's awesome. Mario Lemieux had 104. He had 60 goals as well. How many people had over 50 goals? Oh my god. Kane, Howe, Esposito, Peter Bond with 56, Theo Fleury with 57. That's weird. I guess he grew a lot. Mario Lemieux, Wayne Gretzky, and Sergei Fedorov had 64 goals. Wow, that is impressive. Paul Coffey as a defenseman had 46 goals. Wow, I love to see this. That's awesome. That is so cool. You can see here, oh wow, Ovi didn't do that great. That's actually pretty surprising. Marty St. Louis with 42 goals, and I couldn't put a space or a dot in his last name. The game wouldn't let me, so trust me, it does bother me too that it's just St. Louis. There's no point or there's no space in it. Tarasenko, Crosby, Pavel Kubina as a defenseman had 41 goals. He's a defensive defenseman, buddy. Oh my god, weird. Okay, so let's have a look at rookie goalies, we'll have a look at rookie skaters, and then we will see who won the Stanley Cup, and then we'll think about what we're doing in the draft, where our position is in the draft, and what our needs are in the draft as well. So 2 and 10 for Thatcher Demko, not that great. Malcolm Subban, Stolars, and Eric Comrie, now rookie skaters. You should see Patrick Laine. There he is, 81 points. He led the way. Probably going to win the Calder. Marner with 67, he's up to 86 overall, and Austin Matthews up to 87 at 55 points, and Will Nye, the hockey guy, right behind him with 86. Mikko Rantanen there, and Braden Point actually finished pretty high in the rookie scoring, so Braden Point could become something pretty nice for us. That's awesome to see. So I'm trying to send Braden Point down to help out our AHL team, and unfortunately it's not going to work. They're going to have to go ahead and try to win the Calder Cup without Braden Point. Unfortunately, I can't do anything else. I brought JT Brown up, but our team is still under the salary cap. So let's go ahead and see what our AHL team does. I'm going to sim to the end of the year, and hopefully they go all the way. They're first in their division. I assume they're going to be up there in the top 3 in the entire league. 47. Hopefully they can hit 50 wins. No, they can't, unfortunately, but they're going to have a strong finish to the year, and they're going to hop into the Calder Cup playoffs, and hopefully they go all the way. Unfortunately, the Binghamton Senators get eliminated in the second round by the St. John IceCaps. That sucks, but you know what? They got past the first round. It's going to be a nice learning curve for that team. Let's go ahead and sim to the draft, and we'll see what position we have in the draft, and then we'll check out the awards, and then that's going to be the end of this long-ass video. The Winnipeg Jets are your Year 1 Stanley Cup champions. All right. They end up taking it home for their first cup in franchise history. I don't remember who their legend was. Was it Gordie Howe? I think it was... pretty sure it was Gordie Howe. So we have the 9th overall selection in the draft. Now, we could use players like Pascal Leclerc to potentially move up in the draft. I'll leave that up to you guys, though. So we have the 9th overall selection. Let's have a look, see if Marian Hossa retired. Yeah, Hossa, Doan, and Cullen all called it quits. So even though Hossa was still a very good NHL player, he decides to end his NHL career with the with the team he started with. I'm pretty sure he was drafted by Ottawa as well. So you can see here that Jaromir Jagr goes out on top, wins another cup with Winnipeg, almost has 2,000 points, and he calls it quits. Crooks, oh my god, I had a little heart attack there. I thought that was the Chris Pronger that we made, but it was just the actual Chris Pronger. Whew, all right. Had a bit of a heart attack there. I was like, why is he retiring after year one? That should not happen. Here's what the playoff tree looked like on their route to the Stanley Cup. It was Winnipeg getting rid of the Blues in 5 games, getting rid of Calgary in 5 games as well, and then sweeping the Canucks, and then in the Stanley Cup final, oh, it was against the Red Wings. So Gordie Howe played his original team. That's awesome. And he ends up winning the Stanley Cup. That's good to see. That's awesome. So Gordie Howe gets a ring. Jagr gets a ring, and that is that's how it ended. So let's go ahead and have a look at the awards. We made a few trades, we did a couple of things, and I think we're going to be a better team for next year. Actually, I know we are. We just have some tough decisions to make, that's for sure. Corey Perry wins the Art Ross. The Hart went to Mario Lemieux. The Norris goes to Carlson. A lot of legends are taking home a lot of hardware. Lady Bing went to Fedorov. Patrick Laine wins the Calder. Conn Smythe went to Gordie Howe. There you go. The Vezina went to Devin Dubnyk. The William M. Jennings went to Devin Dubnyk. The Bill Masterton went to Boychuk. Gretzky wins the Frank J. Selke. On top of having 60 goals, he's also the best defensive player in the NHL, as per the decision for him to win the Frank J. Selke. Ted Lindsay went to Mario Lemieux, and Fedorov, I guess he was tied with Gretzky. Yeah, so you can see there 2016, 2017, they both win the awards. So that's kind of cool to see. One final thing, I know I said that was the final thing, but we need to do one more thing, is I want to see the progression for everybody. I want to see how people are doing. I want to see how Riley Barber, Bushnevic, all those guys did in the AHL. Here's how everyone did in the NHL. Ryan Murray had a great year. He grew a lot. Lawson Krause up to 77 overall. He'll play in the AHL for next year. Oscar Dansk at a 75 overall. Bushnevic, or however you want to pronounce his name. I like Bushnevic. That kind of just rolls off the tongue nicely. He's up to an 80 overall. Joe Morrow still at an 81. Berchi at an 82. He dropped. Johan Larsson at an 81. I think they dropped because they got eliminated from the postseason. So in the system, let's see here. Taylor Radish is growing quite nicely. Sompy as well, growing nicely. Nicholas Malash, Danny Heatley up to a 92. Riley Barber up to an 82. That's nice to see. Manthus up to a 70. Anyone else we can quickly see here? Anyone else ready for the NHL next year? I don't quite think so. Pascal Leclerc down to an 86. That's concerning, but let me know what we should do in the draft. Do we get rid of Leclerc? Do we cut ties with him? Or do we give him one more shot as our goaltender? But I like what we did in this episode. I really like Braden Point. We get Marian Hossa off the books, so that's even more cap we have for next year. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.